the show we've talked quite a bit about AI, digitization, uh, you know, platform strategies, everything that can standardize the aftermarket process to unlock new opportunities. As president of Lucas India Services, which operates at the intersection of parts distribution, service, and workshop engagement, what do you think is the most important transformation your organization must get right over the next 3 to 5 years to sustain profitable growth in India's evolving aftermarkets?
Okay, I'll put it this way. In the stepping back a little bit, in the past 5 years, we have almost doubled it. Okay, in terms of top line and then a very stable bottom line. So looking forward, I am looking at probably we should accelerate this pace. Yeah, this is coming from two things. One is the need for the right parts, the parts which are appropriate for the vehicle, for the application, and also very reliable service, which is increasing. It is essentially because of the complexity of the vehicle today. It is no longer purely a mechanical component or an electrical component. A lot of electronics in the vehicle today, and then the ECUs and the sensors, and then there are so many other electronic systems which are actually integrating the parts, and therefore the vehicle operation largely depends on systems and aggregates.
Right.
So it's very difficult for a vehicle user to go to any mechanic or any spare part shop to pick up something that they don't know. So they would like to know whether they're putting the right parts in the vehicle, or they're getting the right service for their vehicle, and therefore I see there is an opportunity for the aftermarket company like ours to grow faster as we bring to the market what we call as a genuine parts, which are actually designed for the vehicle, and also we are proud to say that we offer one of the most reliable services, at least for a few aggregates, because we don't do the whole car or a whole vehicle service. But we would like to explore that space as well.
Okay. I mean, you brought up some very important points. I mean, you mentioned software-defined vehicles. There's also this, advent of several powertrains, from PHEVs to, electric vehicles to range extenders, plug-in hybrids, mild hybrids. And there's a diverse increase of heterogeneous vehicle makes and models. It's all adding up to the complexity of this ecosystem. So, and the last mile, which is it is in an aftermarket world, which is a technician who is servicing these vehicles, that it becomes the biggest bottleneck. How do you intend to tackle this challenge at Lucas?
Well, I mean, it's not only Lucas which can do something about it, or LIS which can do something about it, because this is a huge ecosystem. Right? This is the backbone of the aftermarket ecosystem, the last mile, as you are referring to, the independent aftermarket. Okay, because the independent aftermarket does not stop with the factory gate. Okay, so their work starts after the factory gate and the warranty kind of expires. So through the life cycle of the vehicle has to be maintained appropriately. Otherwise, the vehicle owner is going to have a problem. So today, the variety of powertrains, the variety of technologies, and then there are many makes and models and things like that. The key issue here is about the confidence of the technician to know that, yes, I can handle this vehicle. I can diagnose. I can repair it. So that comes from upskilling. Because this upskilling has to happen in a mass scale. It's not about we do some one-off kind of a mechanic training and things like that. The second important thing is about the catalog. So unless there is a electronic digital catalog which is available and which is public, okay, the independent garages would not have access to information about the right parts for the right vehicle. I think these are two important areas. And as a company, in fact, the last 2 years, we have been working on educating and upskilling the mechanics through a CSR program. Yeah, so we have actually associated ourselves with the Automotive Skill Development Council. And we have indeed opened what is known as LIS Academy, which is available physically in Chennai and then virtually across the country. And we go where the mechanics are and then we conduct training. It is not about our products and what we sell. It is about how a vehicle has to be serviced. Say, for example, in two-wheeler space, the BS6 is a big puzzle for the independent garages. So they are looking at how do I really diagnose BS6 vehicle, the latest vehicle. The same challenge is there in cars and even in tractors as we go forward. This TREM 3, TREM 4, TREM 5, all those will happen. So it's going to happen. So what we are doing is a sliver of activity, and then we are actually seeking partnerships with ecosystem partners, people who make non-competing products, and we can come together. Everybody need not create a capital-intensive infrastructure, and we can share, and common beneficiary is the mechanic.
You bring up very, very important points. The upskilling has to happen for technicians around diagnostics, parts knowledge, and also service capabilities. And that's a challenge. So, who do you think should own this in terms of upskilling technicians? And you rightly said, it cannot be just one company or one part of this ecosystem who could do it. It has to be the OEMs, it has to be suppliers, and the entire ecosystem coming together. But who do you think can make that collaboration happen?
Okay, see, there has to be a bias for action rather than just thinking about this and then talking about this in forum like this. Somebody needs to build the cat, as they say. So we have built one cat. So we need to find other cats. And what I'm proposing is, if companies can come together, some companies already have some infrastructure and some companies may not. Everybody need not create infrastructure. We can share and we can participate together. In fact, in that direction, I've been talking to many other companies which are not competing with us directly. So it is only going to benefit the market and the companies in turns, rather than looking at my company, my products, and then my mechanics. End of the day, the mechanic is the same. They use multiple parts. So how do we really look at it in a holistic manner? I think somebody needs to start somewhere when we have started.
Absolutely. And you also mentioned about cataloging. Very important point. Do you think technologies like blockchain, digital twins, or serialization, how could it help this cost? I mean, it's also tied to parts counterfeiting. How do you think this can be addressed?
Well, I mean, I think one step at a time, because I would not go too many steps because it will be daunting and nobody will get started. I think one is the simple read across. Okay, a given vehicle, what is the OEM part number and what is the tier 1? And I would probably stop with tier 1 and tier 2 and appropriate parts. Okay, it's not that what goes into the vehicle when the vehicle is built, that is the only genuine part. Tier 1s make and they give it to the vehicle manufacturers, and their parts are also equally genuine. So there has to be working together with the OEM and tier 1s in creating the catalog. The reverse is also possible. Any third-party company can come in and then start whatever is available in the market and start doing it, but it will be daunting and it will be time-consuming. And the most important thing is the same part in a similar vehicle, the model changes. It changes completely. So therefore, the look and feel is equally important. So even in a digital catalog, unless there is a high-definition picture and a 360-degree view, a mechanic is going to find it very difficult to choose the right part.
I agree. So, which customer or market signals are most reshaping your aftermarket strategy today? I mean, could be rising expectations for reliability and uptime, or increasing complexity of electrical and electronic systems, so on and so forth.
I think it is more than any technology or aggregates or parts. It is about the consumer behavior. So this is about everybody is used to getting something in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. So the expectation of the vehicle owner is nobody is willing to leave the vehicle the whole day at a garage, be it a two-wheeler or a car or a fleet. So they want quick service, quick turnarounds. I think that will shape the coming days of the aftermarket related technology, be it part selection, repair, diagnosis, everything. So this is like a quick service. I think in my opinion, in my personal opinion, that's what would define as we go forward.
Elias, being in the front end of innovation, eager to know what have you guys been doing with AI and how have you implemented it through your processes? If so, can you give us some kind of a use case?
I mean, I wouldn't tell a lie because it's easy to say everything is AI.
Right.
So you can put a AI prefix or suffix, but yes, we do a lot of data mining on certain things, and then we do certain algorithm-based things.
Yep.
But I wouldn't go too much into those details essentially because early days. So we would probably mature it a little bit further before it is even worthwhile talking about.
Okay. And I'll conclude with this question, sir. Where do you see the biggest opportunity for industry-led collaboration or policy-enabled intervention to unlock the next phase of sustainable aftermarket growth in India?
I think two important aspects of that are one is the consumer will rule as we go forward. So there is already a fair amount of discussions about right to repair. So the fleet owner or a car or a bike owner would like to go to any place where they can get their repairs done at a reasonable cost and they're the right quality. Yeah. For that to happen, okay, cataloging is one important thing, and the standardization of the workshops, that becomes another important thing.
Mr. Raghavan, thank you so much. We really appreciate you dropping by our booth to do this interview.